What do you think, little rabbit? Hmm? Yes, this little guy's sudden death. Shame. And what I don't like about him is this protruding rear end with no fecal matter around it, which makes me think that this little guy was going along pretty well. He's eating off his mom, he's growing well, and then something inside he's blocked up internally, whether he's got an intussusception where the gut's telescoped on itself, or if he's got a volvulus where the gut's twisted on itself. But let's find out what we can see. You want to drive this? Cool, just keep your finger out of the way of the camera's in that corner. Yeah, come around over here if you want. Poor little guy. A little bit easier than the big girls. Hmm? It's a little bit easier than doing the full cows. Yeah. The color of that ain't it? What's that, bud? Veal. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, I cut into the good stuff. That's your half. Copy. Come here, buddy. So used to doing a post-mortem where I just cut down into that. Didn't even think about that bit. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see what we can see here. Pushing up there. Sorry, I'm just gonna come across towards your leg there. That's his abomasum, and you can feel the renin clot in there, so you can feel he's been drinking off mom. Those are clots of milk. Cecum. Looks like our appendix. Big liver, kidney under there, gallbladder, loops of bowel. I was expecting to see a bit of this twisted on itself. Big full bladder. So he's well hydrated, if not dehydrated, because otherwise there wouldn't be any bladder there, or if there was, it'd be really dark. There was a lot of saliva, that's for sure. Yeah, well, we'll look down his esophagus in a second. There's another kidney down there. That looks good. So he's a pre-ruminant, so they don't have a rumen yet. That's called the falciform ligament. That was what his umbilicus was. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah. Here's his future rumen here. It's all small and shriveled up because it's not functioning yet. And then this is his abomasum, which is his stomach. But those guts are pretty empty. What's killed him. It could be he was a twin and he was going all right for a while, and then he started just licking the ground, and he's jammed himself up. He was blocked with sand. See, that's all just sand. And it was blocking the outflow to the esophagus. See how there's nothing in the gut? The gut's all empty? Mm-hmm. And that was jammed into this, what they call the pylorus. So that's the abomasum, and that goes into the duodenum, which is right there. Yep. Got a tiny little, see that tiny little hole there? What they call the pylorus. See how yellow that is? That's because the bile from the gallbladder is dumping into that, and it's not moving through the gut. So it's not transiting through the gut, so that's why it's bright yellow, because the bile is dumping onto it. And if you look past that little plot that was plugged right there in the entrance to the pylorus, that's a pyloric valve right there. I just cut through it. That was a slug of sand sitting right there. And if you look north of that, there's nothing. Just empty. So poor little bugger. And here's the rest of the stomach. Open that up. Could be full of sand. So that's from his mom. That's the renin clot. So when they drink milk, it turns into a clot. Hey, Chuck, you can eat some of that. Yeah, it's just full of sand. Damn it. So the poor bugger, like he's, for some reason, and maybe he was a twin, maybe he just had like this weird, you know, this strange desire, pica, you know, what they call the wanting to eat sand.
Is it sand or is it a clay?
Oh, that's sand, yeah. Have a look. Here you go. It's really fine. That beach sand, like on the block. So, for those of you watching on this video, Shane and I run cows on a block together. Got 2,500 acre joint that we're leasing together, and we run about 400 cows on there together. And this is one of his calves that was going along like steam, and then laid down and died on the way in. About 150 days away, Shane was bringing it in for me to see what I could do, and died on the way. But yeah, it was blocked, which then causes all sorts of metabolic issues. He essentially starved to death with a stomach full of milk. Yeah, doggone it, poor guy. That's what happened. That makes sense. Dang it, dang the bad luck. Nothing we could have done, really. I mean, you could have given him some oil and tried to shake him up, but yeah, shucks. By then he's just so ill, he's metabolic. Cause you get third spacing where all the hydrochloric acid in the stomach stays there. They get metabolically alkalotic, all sorts of weird stuff, and yeah, just like it south. Dang the bad luck. Oh well, we say the rest of the calves.